Hello, guys. Welcome back to another AMA in the PancakeSwap kitchen. I'm Chef PancakeSwap's community manager, and I will be your host today. Today, we are diving into one of the, I think, I can say most exciting updates so far in the recent months, which is social logging. I think it's a big step. I mean, for the time I enter into crypto, thinking about social login and other things like we are seeing, like account abstraction and related, it was some kind of magic. We were all like writing down the seed phrases, trying to not forget or miss any word because we could lose everything. And if you told me at that time there will be a way to log. I mean, we are using login like a normal account, so it's quite for me. It's super exciting, and we are going to dive into why it's exciting, why it's super useful, and all the differences we between all she's in crypto and the new way of users we are seeing. Um, I think I say it's a big step because it's in pursuit of making DeFi easier and more intuitive for everyone, not only for the old OGs that we are, uh, from newcomers to experienced users. I want to, for sure, I'm not going to be the one man standing today in this AMA. I want to say everyone to give a warm welcome to Cal, our PM at the PancakeSwap Kitchen, who is going to help me to go through this review process and also to show a quick demo about how social logging works in real time. Hey, Cal, how are you doing today?
Hey friend, yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Would you mind give us or give the whole community a brief intro of who are you and what are you doing at the PancakeSwap Kitchen?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm Carl, and I'm a PM at PancakeSwap. So definitely with the kitchen, there's a lot of exciting projects that are ongoing, and one of them includes definitely the product that we're kind of going through today. And in terms of what is my main aim, at least for this product, was definitely to make the onboarding journey as seamless as possible. And hence, you may also have seen the pancake gifts, which was also released recently. And I'll just probably be showing a quick demo of how that may work in tandem with what we have with social login today. So the idea is really simple. Uh, I think that not only, yeah, like you mentioned, not only the OGs should have access to the tax or the convenience it has. At the same time, definitely we can expose this to anyone who is willing to try their hand at uh, yeah, and any new experience or even just trying out our platform. So to just make this experience as seamless as possible and easy as possible to just reduce friction in the entire process. And I think at least as a PM, and that's probably one of my main focus for now, to make that onboarding enjoyable for the new users or anyone that wants to try our platform.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Okay, let's start with the basics. What is social logging? I mean, in a few words, or at least for you, um, what problem comes to solve at the DeFi space?
Yep, definitely a valid question. I think, like we mentioned, definitely it's not just catered to one type of users. So I see this helping actually two groups of users. So mainly first, new users. So with new users, definitely there's a lot of jargons in the space, right? And it's kind of daunting to kind of see this UI with all these new terms. Like what does it mean? So in that regard, there's already a lot of there's a huge learning curve there for them to understand whether what is a wallet and like what's a seed phrase. Like when you're setting up a wallet, those are the common steps that you have, and even understanding, let's say, what happens if your private key gets exposed. So with social login here, we're trying to reduce that learning curve or kind of eliminate it. And what we have here is four options for now. So with 4 common social login options like Google, X or Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. If a user has an account today, they can readily use that and log in. And like I mentioned earlier, this also works perfectly with Pancake Gifts. So having an account is the first step, and having the funds is the natural next step, which normally on ramp that is usually kind of a, I'll say, hurdle before a user can start trying out the platform. So you can see how that works hand in hand. So the second group of users, I would imagine this will also help, is experienced users. So that maybe while we've been in the space for quite a while, the experienced users may also have platforms that they would like to stick to, and maybe they have not tried PancakeSwap. So with this feature in mind, this actually helps them to create a wallet very readily, and they are able to, let's say, test out a new strategy or just try out a new chain. And even with what we have in the social login, added benefit is the signless transactions, which we will also demonstrate later. So the user doesn't have to confirm for each transaction limit on chain, and this definitely will help that experienced user, test out our platform and see whether it fits with their strategy or the vibe. Yeah, so definitely this helps with both new and experienced users from my point of view.
Nice, perfect. You are telling me now with the same account from Telegram or Twitter that I used to shitpost every day, I can actually get a wallet and trade on PancakeSwap. I mean, maybe and I will put every time the standpoint from a new from a I wouldn't say experience, but a user who been here for a long time. That could be my case. It's sometimes it looks weird for me, but when you try to put in the shoes of a newcomer, of a I don't know, of my I always use my mom to put an example of a person who doesn't know anything about crypto. That takes me long hours to explain. But she uses Twitter and she posts every day, or I think she should post every day. So with only her account, she can create a wallet and start trading on PancakeSwap. That is improve the user experience and the accessibility of the crypto ecosystem. So thanks, Carl. And just to know a little bit more, because we are not eliminating the seed phrase, but we are not putting the seed phrase in this equation for the users. How is the wallet created behind the scenes, and what it makes it custodial if we are not talking about seed phrases?
Yeah, valid question. So for this, we're actually using a previous trusted execution environment technology behind the scenes. So as a wallet is created, there will be two shares that are needed for each transaction. So these shares are split into two once the wallet is created, and mainly there are two shares. So one is the TE, or the Trusted Execution Environment share, and the other is the Authentication share. So the TE share is stored inside the TAE, as its name suggests, and this can only be decrypted within this TE environment. And suppose for the authenticator share, that is stored by Privy and is encrypted, and this is only accessible with your valid login credentials. So in some sense, you can see that uh, the private key concept is abstracted because of these two shares, while how we authenticate the users are through very traditional methods like the social login that we have. So once the user authenticates that session and logs into their social account, that's where we create the shares, and that shares are being used for the transaction signing for each on-chain action. Yeah, we can go into details about the how the transaction works also as the next step. But I'll just pause here for any other follow-up questions you might have.
No, uh, I think I got it. I think it's like a shared. custody or of a shared responsibility in terms of the parts, right? And dividing these shares, we come up to a more secure and robust uh, system. And yeah, tell me a little bit more about how these seamless transactions work.
Yep. So with each active session that we have after login, the private key is reconstructed temporarily in memory within the TEE. So like we mentioned, this TEE is only accessible like within the environment. So the private key is only used for signing and it's not stored by us, by Privy in this case. So during this session, transactions are auto signed in the background. And how we do this is we will request a Privy to sign a transaction, and only after we get authenticated by the user during their login. So hence, you can think of the login session as the root of the user giving the access to us signing, to getting Privy to sign this on behalf of them. So the definitely the benefits of this is there's no wallet pop-up required each time for each on-chain action that you take, and the session credentials are all stored securely within the TE, and as mentioned in the authenticated share as well. And to once again re-emphasize, for each transaction, you require both shares, not just one. So as you can see, yeah, either one is within the TE and the other requires your login credentials to decrypt uh, that half. So basically, yeah, why we can do this is firstly, getting Privy to sign the transactions on behalf of the user only after user authenticates with their social account. And two, yeah, definitely with the share encryption technology, that's how we achieve signing the transaction, even though the user does not need to know the concept of the private key.
Wow. Oh, so all these additions you are mentioning, it actually, I mean, actually itself improves the user experience and the whole flow of living in the crypto space. But also I'm thinking about this combined with less and less block times from the blockchains that we are seeing at every roadmap. For example, in BNB chain for 2026, it's like from logging, or actually from creating a wallet to doing their first trades on PancakeSwap, just I don't know, a few seconds can come, since you don't even need to uh, sign the pop-up, like accepting a lot of stuff. It's like you log in with your credentials and we ask Privy to sign in the background with the credentials that the user used to log in. It's like, from I will put again the difference between when I started, that I had to manage a lot of stuff and we needed to sign thousands of messages or transactions to do just one trade. I mean, there is a huge improvement in the middle. But I always try to say, to see the security standpoint of the things, because I don't know, I'm kind of a security geek, and I'm worried about seeing users losing their funds or not knowing where to enter or getting scammed by phishing sites. If I lose my access to the login, I don't know, Google, Telegram, whatever, can I still recover my wallet? How does that process work without the enormous seed phrase that are we used to?
Yep. Also a good question there. So in this case, the social login is you can think of it as a key to your wallet. And if lost, just as how you recover your account, or let's say forget your password flow for the traditional account, let's use Google example. You click forget your password, they probably ask you to authenticate with some existing 2FA methods that you have set up before. And once you do that, you're able to reset your password and gain access to your account again. So in the same method here, as long as you are able to go through that security flow for your social account, you will have access to your wallet. But unfortunately, of course, if you lose access to your social account, like you mentioned, since one of the shares is kind of hinging on that access, then you will lose access to your wallet. And hence, I would like to stress again for users using this, definitely do set up your 2FA within your within your traditional social login methods. And this applies to just not only social login, just security in general. It's definitely good to have 2FAs set up just in case someone else has access to your username and password. They would still need to undergo this additional step, like a OTP, before they can get access to your account, or in this case, your wallet. And in this case, compared to seed phrase, this is, I would say, definitely much lower friction. One, definitely the user does not have to manage any private keys, like we mentioned. And two, the seed phrase in here, like you mentioned, yeah, there's no need for the user to kind of keep track of that. It's more of getting retaining access to your social account and using that as the key to your wallet. Uh, yeah. So just as a point here, currently we do not expose the private key exporting flow. This is just to ensure that we keep this social login flow as simple as possible for our users. But definitely, if there are, I'll say, feedback or requests from the community where these new users who uh, on board and decide that, okay, it's time for me to upgrade or really take full control over my wallet, and they wish to export these private keys, then we'll potentially explore exposing this exporting private key flow. And this means that from then on, users definitely have to manage their own private keys, and they can use this same wallet, just as how they would use any other traditional EOA wallets that they're currently using.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I remember seeing users from other wallets exporting their private key and then losing it at the end, and they don't being able to recover the account. I can remember that from old days when the first wallets like this appear. But I like the approach of giving the users the whole way of possibilities to how to run their wallets. Yeah, it's nice. Thanks, call for the answer. And I'm just going to do one more question before we go to the demo. The idea for today is not to take you guys super long, just a huge brief about what social login is. And it's a thing that we are all used to. It's just like we are not used to use it in crypto. And it's really, really nice to see that it works like mostly how we actually know, besides the technical part in background, but that's just for us, not for the users. I receive a lot of comments, and I have to say I also have these comments from time to time. Like some OGs in DeFi argue that social login isn't truly decentralized or secure. I would like to know what's your take, what Chef Kcal takes about that, if you can tell me a little bit.
Yeah, fair question. Definitely with social login, as you can see, uh, in some sense, you're not having the full control because not your keys, not your wallet, right? So in this case, while there is some encryption technology with the TEE that we mentioned earlier, so this is, I would say, sufficiently secure for specific kinds of users, and definitely for new users who does not want to deal with all the complexities of seed phrases. This is definitely a good first step into DeFi. And the same way, like you mentioned, for any power users, right? Definitely, they do not have just one wallet. They have probably multiple wallets that they want to try out, different platforms or different strategies. In this case, that serves that same kind of purpose here. So how I see it is a convenience versus decentralization trade-off. And while we are benefiting from the convenience factor here, and if let's say a user one day decides that they want full control again, then the best way definitely is to go through the exporting key flow to retain full ownership over that wallet. So what we're trying to do here is not to say replacing traditional EOA wallets, right? As we know, at the end of the day, having your own ownership over your keys, that's the best way uh, to ensure that you're the only one that has access to that key. But at the same time, like you mentioned, the trade-off is if I lose my private key, then I lose access to my wallet, and there's no kind of help there that I can get. So in this case, yeah, you can see the kind of pros and cons of each approach. And at the end of the day, you just accept that this convenience versus decentralization trade-off. And we are trying to expand access to more users and not replacing any advanced self-custody options that are present today. So I hope this feature really helps any user that can benefit. Yeah, most probably the new users that are trying to start their hand in crypto, and this really makes their onboarding experience simpler and really much easier for them to share it with their friends or try their hand at themselves without all the jargon in the space. Yeah, I think that would be my take on it.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's giving different options to all the type of users, and at the end of the day, everyone can um, choose whatever way to log in. I mean, to enter and trade, like using a normal external wallet or a social login, or I don't know. It's like to give the users the availability to choose. So yeah, I support. While I always will prefer for now, at least I don't know. Maybe in the future, I'm still considered an old grumpy lover from the oldies. Normal way to use a wallet. I know, for example, account abstraction is just around the corner, and maybe in 2 years we are not going to sign anything. I don't know. You never know. Thanks a lot, Carl, for answering these questions. Um, I would like to ask you if you want to do a super quick uh, step by step about how it looks to use this social login feature, and just to let us know, yeah, what the users can expect when they are trying to log in from any social account.
Yeah, definitely. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. Are you able to
I
see the screen?
can, yes.
Okay, yeah. So this demo will definitely be very short because as you can see, the onboarding is supposed to be quick. So I guess it tackles that aspect. So with social login, just as how you would visit our website for the first time, you need to connect a wallet. So once you click on the connect with social login option at the top here, you'll see the range of available options. If you wish to not use the social login, you can just go back to this screen. So in this case, I'll use Google because I prepared a test account for this purpose prior. So you can see once I click on it, there'll be this prompt for me to continue. So I just created this test account before. Once I click on that, oops, okay, let's, yeah, try again. Yeah, okay, so probably a network issue. You can see that they'll just ask me for some authorization, and this is quite typical of OAuth login. So but what I mean by OAuth, if you go to any traditional platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and you log in with your Google they'll also request for these kind of permissions. Just the traditional flow. Once you grant access, yeah, you can see that the wallet is created. As an additional call out here, I just want to emphasize why we have this screen. This is in case of losing, I'll say, yeah, setting up your wallet on a new device. This will be essential for you to retain control over that share. And this will just require you to enter a password. And this will be prompted each time your session expires or you log into a new device. So yeah, once you go through this process, this password will be prompted in the two scenarios that I've listed earlier. I won't go through this flow now. Yeah, but you can just set the password up, and it's highly recommended that you do so. So once you have this, you can see the normal wallet UI that we also recently updated. So you can buy, receive, or bridge crypto to receive your crypto here. You can see that I use Google and this is my wallet address. So for this purpose, I also prepared a pancake gift just for this purpose. So let's put it in here.
Nice feature, crossover features.
Yeah, and you can see that with the link, the gift is input straight away, and I can claim it. So you can see that the gift is successfully claimed. And if we just return, yeah, it usually takes a while to refresh. Yeah, you can see that the assets are here. And just to demonstrate, just a simple, let's just use, yeah, with whatever that I have here. This is just a normal swap process. You can see that in this case, yeah, I wasn't prompted to sign anything. All the signing actions were done in the background.
And it
And
happened in what, 8 seconds?
yeah, so you can see
Nice.
it's done. Yeah, and I should have my balance here as well. So you can see the entire process. It's very short. Yeah, and once again, I think this shows how seamless the onboarding process can be just by combining the social login aspect, getting the users their first account. And if you're kind enough to create gifts for your friends, your family, they can just get their first crypto to start. And you can see how that signless transactions happen readily. I can just do that again, just to show the signless transaction again. And everything is happening in the background for this. Yeah. So we
Nice. Super
can
smooth.
yeah. And any questions from your end, friend, before I just because like I mentioned the demo is super short, but I think it also shows how short this onboarding process can be for new users.
No, I have to say that yeah, it's super short. The idea of not having the pop-up to sign the transaction is amazing. I mean, taking into account that the credentials are confirming that you are who you are to the background, and actually that gives you the power to sign. It's really smoothly thinking about the new wave of users we are seeing every day. So yeah, thanks, Cal. I will take the chance to say that we have just launched a campaign. If you're looking at this and you haven't seen it, we have a campaign about logging. I mean, the campaign is basically you log into using the social login feature, and you can participate to earn from a prize pool of $1,000. You can check our blog. It's called the 5 Seconds Club. Because what it takes to do a social login, and it has different categories. Like the first one, it's just you recording yourself logging. The second one, it's providing a tutorial to other users about how to log in. And the third one is more like the wheel one, like create a meme or create a piece of content highlighting this new feature. So if you haven't seen it yet, we announced it like 3 or 4 hours ago. You can check our blog, you can check our Twitter or your Discord or our Discord or Telegram. You will see the blog campaign with all the rules and everything you will need to participate. I have to say that it was quick, so thank you, Call, for doing this super insightful and also short. And yeah, for walking us through this upgrade, and for sure, thank you everyone for participating. If you want to say anything, Carl, before we wrap up, the mic and the stage is yours.
Yep, thanks, Ran, for having me. Once again, just want to encourage everyone to just try their hand at this feature. As you can see, it costs nothing. Of course, if you include pancake gifts, you can send as small as like $1 in gifts to your friends or family. But aside from that, the social login feature is free to try. You can just go to our site and just create a wallet instantly, as you can see, and just try out our product and just stay tuned for more things that we're cooking in the kitchen.
Thank you, Kat. Nice wrap up. As he said, if you haven't tried it, head over to PancakeSwap, log in with your favorite platform, and experience how easy DeFi can be. And as always, stay tuned to our socials for more updates. And we will see you next time. This will be recorded, so either on Twitter or YouTube, you will be able to see it, pass it to your friends, or rewatch it if you have any further questions. So we are PancakeSwap. We are here in the kitchen bringing you this AMA. So thank you a lot for tuning today, and see you next time, guys. Have a nice day. Thanks, Carl, again.